Hello and welcome to Imatra in Finland for the world's strongest man under 105 kilograms. Well, we've got 12 guys turning up here today, all competing, all have won national championships, and of course in Finland they've brought along an extra 2 Finns as well. So there are 3 Finns here. Suomi on the chest, and if you're not au fait with Finn, then that's exactly what that means. Well, this was a very highly charged competition. Some of the best guys in the world, guys who can compete with the world's best at their body weight. And I'm not kidding you. These, in fact, you might recognize some of this kit from the Super Series events and some of the other strongman events that have gone on in Finland. But these guys, 105 kilos and under, that's 16 stone or thereabouts, just over. Or if you're talking in pounds, less than 225 pounds. Amazing stuff. So fit as well as strong. And the first event is the truck pull. And at the end of these 8 events, we will crown the new world's strongest man under 105 kilos. Lars, Erik, Nilsen for Norway. Now there's 12 guys, I'll spin through them quickly. We have Wessels, Willie Wessels from America, the oldest man in the competition. Wayne Armberg from Canada, Stefan Weiermann of Austria, Daniel Wiklund of Sweden, Maris Rosentals of Latvia, René Treig of Germany, Darren Sadler, the British champion, Janne Hartikainen of Finland, Aki Katajamäki also of Finland. I'll probably say that a few different times this program. Jyrki Rantanen, the 3rd Finn, then Danny Andersson, the Swede, and Erik Nilsen. Now we're looking at Nilsen right now. And I wonder whether he'll follow in the footsteps of Sven Karlsson. Zambia 2001, Sven won the world's strongest man. And this guy would love to match that kind of feat. But you can see there, it didn't look a particularly hard pull. Once the truck got moving, it just came at you. He wasn't fighting that at all. And that's what you get when you're putting in such perfect conditions as a flat concrete floor. Makes it a lot harder when you're at some kind of track where the ground undulates, dips up and down. Of course, it's almost impossible on grass. It really does make it hard. Next out then, Sergei Knyashok of the Ukraine. And if he comes from the Ukraine, he must be good. Vasyl Vereshchuk, the world's strongest man of 2004 in the Bahamas, and he's been doing a little bit of training with Vasyl, and of course Alina, who's one of the coaches of the federation and the brains behind IFSA over in Ukraine. Very, very scientific in their training, these Ukrainians. They don't mess around at all, leave nothing to chance. So expect something impressive from Sergei Knyashok, certainly pulling for all his worth. Well, Nilsen's time was 28.56, and the time for Sergei Knyashok, 28.75. Well, that looked like the back of Heini Koivuniemi, Finland's strongest woman, but I couldn't quite see. Here we have Jyrki Rantanen, the first of the Finns. Now you can hear the crowd really loving this, and these guys, let's face it, have had their hands on this kit, so no doubt the Finns will have the home advantage. There's the great man himself, Janne Virtanen, shouting on. Good to see him, world's strongest man of 2000, and that was down in South Africa, and the Finns have such a proud tradition. Rantanen's time then, 26.12.
What do you think? Was your first performance good?
I think it was quite good, not perfect.
Well, Juha-Pekka Aitala doing some interviewing there. You might recognize him from the Super Series last year. He was one of the Finns competing. Very, very strong Finn himself. Doing a bit of television work, so welcome to the club, Juha. Look forward to hearing some more interviews. And following Jyrki Rantanen is Danny Andersson of Sweden. Now, talking of giant boots to fill, imagine having to fill Magnus Samuelsson's shoes. Well, you can see there, this is definitely a very light pull. I think possibly a little too light. These guys are under 105 kilos, but they're certainly very strong.
Hello, Danny. Do you think that your performance was good? or not?
I lost the rope. It's not too good.
Yeah, I noticed you lost the rope, but how much do you think that you would have got better time by managing the rope all the time?
Maybe a second or two.
Yeah, it looked pretty good, and you are leading by over a second now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, Danny Andersson took that event, that 25.6. Well, that's half a second faster than anyone else managed. Rantanen the best Finn, but look at that. Finns from second to fourth. Darren Sadler, the Brit, well, he's sitting in fifth, still in striking distance. 8 events, remember. I tell you what, this is one of the most beautiful towns, Imatra, on the 3rd largest lake in Finland, or in fact, in all of Europe. And right on the Russian-Finland border. Fabulous place for visitors to go. Talking of famous strongmen, there's big Tommy Lotta. Good to see Tommy helping out in the log lift. All of the guys from the open class. There's Dr. Doug Edmonds, the head referee for today. All the same faces that you will see at a lot of the other strongman competitions. So Maris Rosenthal versus Willie Wessels. Now this is not about time. This is just about the weight, and 120 kilos on the bar. Should be fairly comfortable for both of these guys. For Wessels, not a problem. For Rosenthal's, also an easy lift. Now Willie Wessels, the American there, the man with the shaved head, he's battled cancer and won that battle. So really kind of like Lance Armstrong, a true battler. Now Germany in a battle of the log lift. Weiermann against Trager, the Austrian. Both guys trying to get up that 120 kilo. Well, I don't know if he's going to get given that. I think maybe the Austrian is going to be the only man who doesn't do it. And that'll be very disappointing for him. So Nilsen against Konjašuk. Norway on the left, Ukraine on the right. Now, these guys aren't quite as bulging with muscles as we're used to in strongman. But look at the explosive power. And still way above body weight. Well, is that a good lift? Couldn't quite see Nilsen getting given the lift or not there. No, he doesn't. No, Nilsen is not given that lift at all. And out now then with Arnberg versus the Brit Sadler. They're getting a great shot of him there. Look at the power. Now I watched Darren in Northern Ireland winning the Britain's strongest man under 105 kilos, and to be honest, to be fair, he absolutely dominated the show there. The only man to press out all of the logs. But the problem, as we watched Katajamäki competing against Hartikainen, is that Darren, here's the bad news, has damaged the cartilage in one of his ribs. So he's really battling through pain. 2 good lifts then for both of those boys from Finland, and it brings out a Swedish versus Finnish battle in Andersson versus Rantanen. Andersson in the near shot of the camera. Rantanen further away. Now Andersson leading the competition at the moment after the truck pull. Look how easy it was for the Swede. Definitely shorter in stature and very powerful in the shoulders. Well, the crowd enjoying this as the weight goes up. 130 kilos on the bar. 7.5 kilos short of that big 300-pound mark. And that's really when you're getting into big stuff. Rosenthal's versus Wessels. Well, Rosenthal's gets the green light. Wessels also, so good news for him. Hartikainen versus Sadler, no problem for Sadler. Look at the speed at which Sadler attacks that. I hope that back's not hurting him. Now, Katajamäki versus Rantanen. Both at 130. Well, Rantanen goes clear, so does Katajamäki without a problem. I tell you what, Katajamäki looks unbelievably good at this. I have heard he is very, very strong. Rosenthal versus Wessels. The first 2 guys at 140 kilos. Wessels shaking there. Yes, he's going to do it. The American gets it. They give him the down signal. As for Rosenthal's, he's already had 1 effort to get it to his chest, surely out of puff. No, he's done it. Well, that was a real battle by the Latvian. I'm most impressed. Normally, the fatigue kicks in, but perhaps with the smaller men, they're that little bit fitter. Sadler against Sergei Konyashuk. Very quick again, Sadler. Look at the... Oh! We're getting a shot of Konyashuk there. Sadler really taking his time over the press, but gets it. So another two men go clear at 140, over 300 pounds, about 305 to be exact. Katajamäki versus Hartikainen, the battle of the Finns. And it was Katajamäki who looked so impressive. Look at that once again, incredibly fast. And Hartikainen, well, he looks just about on the limit of his pressing power. Andersson versus Rantanen. The final two at 140. Danny Andersson, not a problem. No, it's not going to be out of luck for Rantanen. So the first Finn to fall, and the weight goes up by 5 kilos. Wessels versus Rosenthal. Now, Wessels really struggled last time, the American. And Rosenthal's, well, let's face it, made it look even harder at 140. And I think both of these guys are going to go out here. Look at that, Rosenthal. Does he get the signal? Yes, he does. Most impressive from the Latvian. He really deserved that. Much like his compatriot Ravensburg Manis, the great man who has the world record at 190 kilos. Janne Hartikainen on the right versus Katajamäki on the left. And look at that from Katajamäki. Well, at 145 kilos, I certainly wouldn't bet against him. I think he's a man who's got a lot more in him. Here we have Andersson versus Katajamäki at 150. Katajamäki snapping it up. That's brilliant stuff from Katajamäki. Andersson failing and failing again. You can see just running out of puff, as they say. No, it's not going to happen for Andersson. Real disappointment. Well, here we have it, 160 kilos. Darren Sadler versus Katajamäki, the two big men left in the competition. Sadler and Katajamäki have gone clear at 150, I must add that. So here we go, this for the record, and a 105 kilo world-class record as well. This is unbelievable. This is what the guys at 150, 160 kilos are thinking. Oh, Sadler looks like he's hurt himself, but Katajamäki in front of the home crowd. That is fabulous stuff from the Finn. You can take nothing away from that performance.
Well done, Aki. You did it. You won the event. Do you think you could have done the Finnish record of 165?
Yeah, I think it would be possible, but it's not necessary anymore. Have to keep my power next event.
Yeah, you have won this event, and you took the maximum points out of this.
Well, Danny Andersson didn't do too badly either. He did 145 kilos, enough to keep him within half a point of Katajamäki, who's our new leader in the competition. Then Finland loving this, half a point in the lead. Join us for more action after the break.
In the thrilling MotoGP campaign, the next battleground is Assen. At 6 kilometers, it's the longest track in the calendar, with a great atmosphere, a big crowd of fanatical fans, and a big favourite of the riders. Watch Gibernau and Melandri push right to the limit in pursuit of Valentino Rossi. Plus every moment of the 250s and 125s. MotoGP from the Netherlands, tomorrow, live on British Eurosport.
With Suzuki, ride the winds of change.
Now you can get all your best-loved country hits together in the Time Life Classic Country Collection.
Just walk on by.
Wait on the corner. Berlin Husky.
On the wings of the snow white dove, he sings his pure, sweet love.
Patsy Cline, Conway Twitty, Jim Reeves, Tammy Wynette, and the one and only Marty Robbins.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican. Mexican girl.
Every song in the 6-CD Classic Country Collection is the original recording, no re-records, and they're all digitally remastered for the best sound ever.
They say don't go on Wolverton Mountain.
You walk by and I fall to pieces.
You will get the breakthrough hits of the 50s, the classics of the 60s, the best of the 70s. Songs we'll always remember, by the stars we'll never forget.
Stand by your man and show the world you love them.
And as I taste your tender kisses.
Each album comes complete with historic photos and stories about the stars and their music. Plus, use your credit card and you'll get this Hank Williams album free, featuring 25 of his legendary hits. So call now to enjoy the Classic Country Collection on 6 CDs. If it's not the best country collection you've ever heard, just send it back for a full refund. Plus, use your credit card and get your free Hank Williams bonus album. That's 115 country hits in all. So don't wait. Call the number on your screen now.
Hello and welcome back to Imatra in Finland. And we're going on with the under 105 kilogram class, world's strongest man. So this is the real deal. And the German against the Canadian, Traga versus Arnberg. And look at the way the Canadian's running off for this farmer's walk. 40 meters, 120 kilos in each hand. So 240 kilos in total. You can see him struggling there. This is a real tough battle. Hands absolutely burning. But for Arnberg, he finishes it. Traga, the German, you can see here just battling away. Grip absolutely gone. And that's one of the problems with farmer's walk. Your forearms just pump up. There's nothing you can do about it. And Heini Koivuniemen there, going over the scores. Heini, second in World's Strongest Woman a couple of years ago. She's had third place as well. So the measurement being taken. And the distance, or rather the time for the first man, Arnberg, was 24:35. First man to finish, so that'll be interesting to see who can beat that. And look at this outing. This is very fast indeed by Wessels and Rantanen, the Finn. Rantanen looks like he's going to get the nod there. 22:83 the time for Rantanen. And Wessels, well, the man who battled cancer, he goes over in 34:63. And Willie Wessels, the oldest man in the competition, now over 40 years old. Janne Hartikainen versus Sergei Kuniashok. And at the moment, Hartikainen just beating him round the turn there. You see the Ukrainian, a much taller man than the Finn. And it's a real sprint to the line here. The time 22:83 by Rantanen to beat. And for Hartikainen then 21:67. So Hartikainen's done it. Goodness me, the man who's chasing Katajamaki and in third place at the moment really needed that big result. That'll help him out a great deal and his chance at getting into the top three. And I'll tell you what, the Finns could well be dominating here. All three doing fairly well at the moment. Danny Andersson in second place at the moment. He's on the left-hand side, the Swede, and battling it against Maris Rosenthal's. We saw how impressive and explosive Rosenthal's was. And oh, the Latvian's gone down though, just as I'm singing his praises. And here comes Danny Andersson like a truck, fully laden, goes the same speed all the way. And that's going to be neck and neck stuff. I'll have to go to the timing clocks to see who won that one. Andersson 26:23. As for Rosenthal, 26:53. Wow, 0.3 of a second in it. Sadler then, power personified, very fast. He hates it, but I'll call him it anyway. The pocket rocket, really unbelievably explosive, Darren. fast as anything, and he's going into the lead here. Darren is going to be tight with the others. Remember the times, 22.83 the time so far, and Sadler 23.07. Well, that 23.07 good enough for third place, but Hartikainen, this guy is starting to look unstoppable. And as for Andersson, who was doing very well, well, he takes a 6th place in that event. That's not great points for him. And I'll tell you what, it looks like the Finns in their hometown of Imatra are starting to walk away into the lead. Well, here it is, beautiful in summer, indeed beautiful in winter, very cold though around Imatra. But a great place if you want to go fishing or do a bit of wildlife watching. Not the best place if you want to buy a cheap pint of lager, mind. Finland, always very expensive. But the people, well, I've always found them phenomenally kind. Very good people. There's no messing with the Finns. They shoot straight from the hip. And I tell you what, when it comes to strongman, almost no nation in the world has been more successful than Finland. Well, Willie Wessels of the United States of America, starting off, struggling away, 270 kilos, and he's quite a short man, Wessels. You can see that definitely hindered him. Stefan Weiermann. What's he got to give then, the Austrian, who, to be honest, has looked out of his depth throughout this competition? A man just lacking in experience, young guy, definitely a lot of potential. You can see he's in some good shape. Well, staggering around, can he take it round for the 1 lap? Well, that's good stuff. The pain biting into the biceps. 270 kilos. Well, that's actually what the weight is, where the bar is hanging off of the bar, actually digging into your arms. Probably more like about 180 kilos. Sergei Konyashuk, the Ukrainian, now he was lean and mean, but you can see the legs shaking already. Not sure whether the Ukrainian is going to go ahead in the Conan's wheel of Rosenthal's. Well, Konyashuk 23.48 meters, Rosenthal's 15.92. Danny Andersson, man number 4 out. Or rather Rosenthal's. I'm getting myself confused here with our different Eastern European competitors. So we've just seen the Ukrainian. Of course, the man I'm not counting was Willie Wessels. He got no marks. That's where my mistake came on the list. Willie didn't manage to get it out of the danger zone. So Maris Rosenthal's, he gets a distance. Let's move those numbers around. Rosenthal gets 15.92, so still in the lead is the Ukrainian Konyashuk on 23.5 meters. Now Andersson was sitting in first place after event 1, slipped by half a point after the log lift, and then the farmer's walk wasn't kind to him. But I tell you what, this looks a whole lot better for the Swede. Much like his compatriot Samuelsson, great strong arms. Look at the biceps bulging away. This is going to be tight. Has he gone further than 23 meters? Andersson, well, I tell you what, it's a whole lot further. 40.1 meters for the Swede. Just a little bit dizzy. Sucking up the oxygen here in Imatra, inside the stadium. Katajamäki. Now, little birdie told me this guy is seriously good at this. He's been practicing. You can see the technique. They're very impressive. And the Finns, definitely one of the best nations in the world at Conan's wheel. Let's have a look at someone like Tommy Lotta, perhaps the best in the world, maybe Marius. And then you look back in history, Janne Virtanen, unbelievable at this event. And Katajamäki, I think that just might be further than Andersson. We're going to get a measurement in just a second here. Katajamäki in the lead at the moment overall in the competition. Yes, it is. So Katajamäki gets 44.81. It comes out with Darren Sadler, 44.81 to beat then. Goes round once. Sucking in the oxygen. the man from Harrogate in England. You can see the pain in his face, but certainly it's not the weight, it's the fitness that's going to get him here. I think it's going to be tight, almost exactly the same place as Karajamäki for the Brit. Well, he needs to start getting some points if he's going to make a challenge at this title. A lot of people said he was the man to win here after really blowing away the field in Britain. Well, the distance, I can tell you, for the Brit Sadler, 46.64. So he does indeed go into the lead by 2 meters. Well, Rantanen, the man who, along with Karajamäki, looks like he's starting to go off into the lead. Really was unbelievably strong in Farmers Walk, the last event, so he's obviously got fitness. Karajamäki, the man who blasted up the log lift, definitely has the explosive power. Well, the distance, we're going to get a reading for Rantanen, 48.65. Sadler's 46.64 is gone. And I have to say that is one of the problems with this event. Hartikainen then, the last man to go in this event. That's it. You know what mark you have to go to. It's a bit like you just go until you die. And the first guy, he sets a benchmark, and the next guy knows exactly what he's got to do. And he usually, if they're of similar ability, can go a meter further. That's one of the benefits of doing well in the event before. But he's battling it round. He's got to take a little bit further if he's going to match it with Sadler. And Karajamäki and Rantanen sitting at 48.65, the last man to go. He's just about on that mark now. It's going to be there or thereabouts with Sadler and Rantanen. Oh, he holds on a little bit longer. This, an incredibly brave performance. Well, how much does he want this World Championship title? The world's strongest man, I should say. Hartikainen, 50.43 seconds. 43 seconds, talking gibberish, 43 meters, and that, for the Finn, is another victory.
Well, we have a winner from the event of Conan's Wheel, Janne Hartikainen. How did you do it?
As you see, it was a piece of cake.
Didn't look so easy. I thought that 2 rounds is enough, but somehow you managed to do it. Where did you get the strength from?
I think this is something what is my living too. And, I don't want to give up.
So you can climb up higher and maybe take the title of world's strongest man under 105 kilos.
Of course, that is on my target. That's true.
Good you and good luck.
Thanks.
Well, big stuff there from Janne Hartikainen. Join us after the commercial break for 4 more back-breaking events.
This weekend on British Eurosport, it's all happening on the track. The MotoGP boys ride into the Netherlands with Rossi and the posse flat out at Assen. Winding up at San Marino, the production machines of Superbike, and they produce one heck of a championship. And down Mexico way, see how the drivers give touring cars a whole new meaning. A weekend on wheels with MotoGP, Superbike and the World Touring Car Championship. All live on British Eurosport.
Hello and welcome back to Imatra in Finland for the under 105 kilogram world's strongest man. And the first man out, René Trager of Germany. And he's leaning on the back of Tommy Lotter. Isn't that amusing? So the time there for Trager, let's have a look and see what they come up with. 21.4 seconds, so you know this is tough. 14 kilograms is the weight of these now. If you remember back to the Super Series in Imatra over a year ago, funny enough, Tommy Lotter was one of the best of them that day. It's an event the Finns absolutely love. Willie Wessels, the American, short arms, but the referee calling him there as it starts to drop. 24.41 then the time for Wessels. That puts him ahead of the German, Lars Erik Nilsen of Norway next. There's 14 kilos, proving to be very difficult to hold out at such a length. Well, he's shaking away there. Tell you what, the refereeing's pretty tough. These guys aren't getting away with anything. That's one of the tricks you do, is just pull your arms in a little bit, start to drop the shoulders. But Nilsen, 25.72, has taken him into the lead. Rosenthal's the explosive man from Latvia. Face like a piece of iron there. This is an event he wants to win. Time going very well. Well, he's trying to beat Nilsen, who did 25.72. Well, the time then, it's come up. The time for Rosenthal's is 25.44. So just 0.3 of a second shorter than Nilsen. And Andersson, well, the pain's biting already. You can see him shaking, leaning against Tommy Lotta there. Tommy makes a great stopboard. And time up for Andersson, 29.88 though. The Swede takes what looks like could be another victory. Remember, he did so well in the truck pull the first event, but we got the big guns still to go. And by that, I mean the Finnish posse. You have the likes of Katajamäki, this guy here, very young, but incredibly powerful. We saw him in the log lift, doing a phenomenal 160 kilos. Oh, the pressure there. Katajamäki. His time then. 24.6, so not good enough to take the lead. Let's see what Darren Sadler can do. Holding strong. Look at the shape this man's in. Really phenomenal. He could almost be a bodybuilder, the physique he's got on him. Oh, well, he's pulling his arms in a little bit. And I'm guessing that's what he got the whistle for. Sadler's time, 34.94. Well, the Brit's gone into the lead. But is it too early to get excited back in Britain? Because we got some really tough guys to come. Jyrki Rantanen. Look how tall he is, almost as tall as Tommy Lotta. And Tommy Lotta's about 1.97 m, 98. So this guy under 105 kilos and very lean. I tell you what, for long arms as well, he's holding this a long time. It doesn't help. Biomechanics are against you when you're long-armed. And what's the time then? Rantanen trying to beat Sadler's 34.94. And the time is 32.88. Well, he's pleased with that. I think second to Sadler at the moment is pretty good for such a tall guy. Hartikainen, Janne Hartikainen, came first in the Farmer's Walk and the Conan's Wheel. You know he will have practiced this event a few hundred times leading into this. It's a great title to win. World's strongest man under 105 kilos. Oh, the right shoulder dips a little bit. Holding tight. Sadler's time, 34.94. It's going to be under pressure. Hartikainen over the 30-second mark. They're shouting at him. The eyes. Oh, he's enjoyed that. Yeah, they've shouted that he's beaten Sadler's time. He drops it at 37.25. Hartikainen then takes another victory here. But for Darren Sadler, it's good news for Britain. He gets a second place, and that keeps him up the points as well. At the moment, in fact, in second place, just ahead of Rantanen. And then Andersson in fourth. And the Finns, well, all three in the top 5. Well, you're having a few more looks around Imatra, a place with a lot of culture. And I tell you what, the most impressive thing about this place is the waterfall here. Twice a day, they turn on from the dam, the waterfall. I tell you, it is one of the most spectacular things you've ever seen. Some ridiculous amount of water comes out in about 10 minutes, just filling a valley full of water. Oh, well, we're starting the crucifix with Wayne Arnberg, and I tell you what, he's had a baptism of fire at the top level of strongman. Come all the way over from Canada, and at the moment, he's getting a Scandinavian lesson in strongman. René Trager from Germany. And it's not going to be too difficult to beat Arnberg's time. Now, one of the difficulties of this event is just gauging the width of your arms. You don't want that whistle blown and these cars to drop. It's about 140 kilos in each hand. You can see the pain you start to go through there. And of course, if these cars roll back, even just a couple of inches, that's what happens to the likes of Arnberg there. It just rolls and explodes out your hand. You need to speak to the referee and get the width absolutely perfect. And I guess Arnberg's inexperience at the top level let him down there. The Hercules hold. One of the most brutal events in strongman. The pain in your arms, shoulders, the skin of your hands. Almost impossible to get away with this without tearing your skin. Well, Karajamäki hanging on for Finland. Oh, the pain there, you can see it absolutely coursing through his body. Karajamäki's time, 34.57. Certainly beats Arnberg's 2.44 seconds. And the German, René, his time, 13.97. Danny Andersson of Sweden then, here we go. Battling it out, and this guy we've seen has a real ability to take pain. But I tell you what, it started just to jerk in his hands right at the beginning. His left hand there just peeling open, and I think Andersson just got it all wrong at the start there. You can see the way these cars roll down the platform. Koniashuk, the Ukrainian, oh, that was a really bad start there, getting yanked by the left-hand car as he's looking at it. Just slipping a little bit, but this is mind over matter stuff from Koniashuk. He's gone well past 10 seconds, up towards the 20-second mark. Chasing the time of Karajamäki's 34.57. No, it's not going to be anywhere near that for Koniashuk. His time, 22.38. Jyrki Rantanen, one of the three Finns who are in for the win at the moment. It's really hard to call who's going to win this. Rantanen doing very well in the crucifix, the last event. In fact, he's been first or second in just about every event except the log lift. So tall, but I've heard about this man's grip. Well, he's in a place of pain at the moment. Oh, you can see there, oh, starting to bite his lips. Well, he knows he's got Hartikainen to follow, so Rantanen needs a good score, 33.63. So for Rantanen, not bad at all. And that brings out the man, Janne Hartikainen, leading the competition. Has had 3 victories in a row. Farmer's Walk, Conan's Wheel, then the crucifix. He knows the time he needs to beat. Hunting down 34.57 by Karajamäki, his compatriot. The pain's biting in, it's gone 20 seconds. How much more has he got? Will he last past the 30? It's going to be close. Whoa, it's gone, and it's 29.38 for the leader here. The world's strongest man, under 105. Well, that was impressive. Karajamäki takes lead, Rantanen second. Well, 3 Finns in the top 3. Join us after the break.
Live the Tour de France in full with British Eurosport. Emotion, 3 weeks on the road with every stage live from start to finish. Analysis from our international team, Richard Virenque, Sean Kelly and Jens Hepner. Word from the experts before, during and after the race. Intimacy with exclusive behind-the-scenes stories in our highlights program. Interactivity. Our commentary team answer your questions at Eurosport.com. Join British Eurosport for the Tour de France live from July the 1st.
Fight Club.
Welcome back to Imatra in Finland, the under 105 kilogram class, world's strongest man, and it's the wheelbarrow event next. Event number 7, the penultimate in this competition. Leading at the moment, it's Janne Hartikainen of Finland. In fact, all 3 Finns doing incredibly well. Darren Sadler mixing it with them at the moment. This guy doing quite well as well. Rosenthal's of Latvia. Now, the weight of this whole thing, about 1,100 kilos, round about 300 kilograms in the hands. I'll tell you what, after that event, the Hercules hold, this is not going to be easy. Just has to knock the flag to finish it off. Done it. Time then for Rosenthal's in the penultimate event, the wheelbarrow. 31:25. I think this is going to be a tough time to beat. This is the same event and the same piece of kit they used in the Super Series in Imatra as well. Remember what the big boys did with this. Unbelievable times. They were doing somewhere around about 12 seconds. It's pretty hard to go much faster than that over this distance of 20 meters. Well, this guy Andersson starting to sprint with it, isn't he? The Swede powering it through. Time for Danny Andersson, 15:53. Wow. Started with a bang in the first event, the truck pull, and going to go out with a bang as well if he does well here in the Stones, the final event, the Great Atlas Stones. Stefan Weiermann of Austria. Haven't really seen what Weiermann can do in this competition. Conan's wheel, he managed to finish 6th, his best result so far. And Weiermann, I think, quite pleased finishing there, 18.72 seconds. On with the German, René Trager. Driving it forward, you can see there, pushing a bit like a drunken man, is wheeling all over the place. Not easy to balance when you got 300 kilos in the hand, 660 pounds. And for the German, 22.31 seconds, so slower than the Austrian. And certainly slower than Danny Andersson, who's 15:53 leads at the moment. Darren Sadler, well, that was fast, wasn't it? Jeez, we barely had time to realize he was doing it. Sadler's 14:37 takes him into the lead. And for Darren, the problem of his damaged rib not bothering him too much there, but I think it's starting to be a little bit of mind over matter for Darren Sadler. Really, the pain causing him a lot of problems. Now, Konyashuk from the Ukraine chasing that time. 14:37 to beat Konyashuk. 14.97, so half a second slower. Sadler, the Brit, leading this event at the moment. Hartikainen, the Finn, easy with the pickup. Remember, the time starts as soon as your back leaves the front of the machine. Takes it through. What's Hartikainen's time then? 14:15. Well, by 0.15 of a second, he goes ahead of Darren Sadler. Aki Karajamäki slipping around a little bit on this slippery floor in those trainers. Karajamäki very powerful off the ground, we've seen that already. And look at this, some explosive speed here too. 14:15 for Karajamäki. Well, who'd have thought it, the same time as Hartikainen.
Aki and Janne, tied first place from the wheelbarrow race. How did you guys do it? Make the exactly same time in this event?
I don't know how is that possible, but
I think what I did, it was best I can do. I don't know you.
How do you think, Aki? Was this the best performance for this event you can do?
This is first time I do this event. Never do this before. So
then it's really good, really good.
I have to be happy with that.
Thank you guys, and good luck for the last event.
Well, let's have a look then. Karajamäki and Hartikainen, 14:15 apiece. Darren Sadler, well, with hand timing, you have to feel slightly sorry from there. 14:37. It's always just a little bit dodgy when it's that close. You feel sorry for the man who loses, but for the guys who take the victory in that event, well, they're not complaining, that's for sure. So Finland absolutely dominating here in beautiful Imatra, right on the Russian border, and that was the valley I was talking about, believe it or not, fills in 10 minutes with water once they unleash the dam. The most phenomenal sight you have ever seen. The final event, the Atlas Stones, and it's René Trager of Germany. 120 kilos up first. 120, 30, 40, 50, 160 kilos to finish off on the 5th stone. So really, this weight absolutely no different than what the big boys do in the open competition. You can see the tacky on the back of the hands there. That's just basically pine resin, incredibly sticky stuff that you slap all over your body. And that helps you stick to these slippery concrete balls. Now over in Scotland, of course, they're hewed out of sandstone, the great McGlashan stones. Been in the McGlashan clan for many a year, and they are a lot stickier. The roughness of the sandstone certainly helps there, but these concrete balls are very dusty. Doug Edmonds then taking the time for the first man, and René Trager's time was given, if I haven't lost my bits of paper, which I have. And out now is Lars Erik Nilsen, as I feel the relief of finding my bit of paper. Here we are, the Atlas Stones. For René Trager, his time then was 2 stones in 14:05. Nilsen already gone ahead of that, 4 stones. This is incredibly impressive by the Norwegian. You just wonder how much training he's done with Sven Karlsson, the great man himself, teaching him just how to lift stones. You remember Sven won his World's Strongest Man title in Zambia on the stones, the final event. A fitting end to what was one of the highlights of the strength calendar, and indeed one of the great moments in strength history, Sven's victory in 2001. So for Nilsen, it's an end of what was a pretty tough competition, but his 4 stones in 31.3 seconds gives this Scandinavian something to chase. Danny Andersson, the Swede, not as tall as Nilsen, but very explosive. This platform set at 1.50 meters. Oh, the power there, driving it up. 4 stones. Well, news is he's gone ahead of Nilsen, so if he gets this, he's already in the lead, I must say, but this would take him even further into the lead, and 160 kilos would put enormous pressure on the others, but not today. Andersson, a tired man, 8 events in one day is phenomenally hard, let's face it. Doing 3 or 4 events is pretty tough. Decathletes, they do 5 events a day, and I tell you what, you never see them yanking up 160 kilo stones. So Aki Karajamäki, one of the 3 Finns, all 3 of them battling it out for the top spot. Karajamäki easily up with the first few stones, very explosive, knows these stones well. I think this could be the first man to do all 5. He's going to pop number 4 up with ease. Not quite as tall as Hartikainen or Rantanen, but for power, this man is so explosive. There you go, 160 kilo stone. He's managed it at a body weight of under 105 kilos, and this is just as impressive as a World's Strongest Man feat. It really is. The guys, the big fellas at 140, 150 kilos, they can do this in maybe 25 to 27 seconds, the best. But this guy, well, Karajamäki has done it in almost an equally as impressive time. Karajamäki's 48.22. So, compatriot Rantanen These guys all battling it out now. It's going to be first, second and third for the Finns. But what order is it going to be? Can he beat Karajamäki? Rantanen's time then, 31.06 he has done. And I tell you what, that almost surely books him either the silver or the gold medal. And for Karajamäki, it's going to be the bronze, that's for sure. But the question is, what can Janne Hartikainen do? He's the last man in the competition. Darren Sadler had to drop out due to injury. That broken rib causing him too much pain to continue on. So Darren looks like he'll have to settle the fourth. This is it then, the gold medal about to be decided. And hey, the title of world's strongest man under 105 kilos. Well, the speed, look at this, he's enjoying himself now. He knows he's done it fast enough, the four, to take the medal. Only two other men have done all five, and on points, this man, Janne Hartikainen, has definitely won the under 105 kilo class, world's strongest man, and that was a fitting end to this show. Fabulous stuff there, being congratulated by the other two Finns, Rantanen and Karajamäki. And I can give you what will be the final placings then. Your winner, Hartikainen. Second, it's going to be Rantanen. And third, Karajamäki. The Finns in that order. And as for Darren Sadler, well, he's going to take fourth place overall. Well, that's a real shame for Sadler. He could have really done with the points there. He could have mixed it in the final event. He's a great stone lifter, but it's not to be. There you are, the final podium, and it's Hartikainen, the victor.
Janne Hartikainen, world champion now in under 105 kilogram category. Well done. How do you feel now?
I feel good.
That's it?
And satisfied, of course.
You should be. This is the first time when, as the competition has been held. Do you think that the competition was a success, or?
I think that all athletes were in very good condition, and how this all was made, and this event, I think this was quite wide.
I've heard rumors that you are retiring after this competition. Don't you think that would be nice to do this again next year?
I think this is quite a hard job, and I have 2 kids and wife and own house. It is possible that I have hobbies at home.
Yeah, I can guess. I'm hoping that you will be back next year to take the title again. Thank you very much and well done.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's it. He's the winner, Janne Hartikainen, and I think very much the just winner as well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it just as much as I have. I'm Colin Bryce. You can write to me at eurosportstrongman@hotmail.com. And until next time, goodbye.